Good morning, brothers and sisters, and all my dear friends from all over the world. This morning, we are going to talk about what is true yoga, part 2. Why we need to talk about the true yoga? Because the true yoga could help us to build the bottom line of our behavior and our moral commitments. When we have the moral commitments of our human behavior on earth, because human behavior is what we are acting, creating, the conditions around us. Through our behavior, when we interact with the universe, with the other people, with the environment, we are insisting upon our kind of the world we want, whether we insist upon our dream, of our resolution, or what kind of the conditions we want around us. So it is something like we proclaim and we declare our kind of conditions we want through our moral commitment. What we want for ourselves and what we want in the environment around us, in the society, in the atmosphere, on earth, and in the universe. So it's kind of a proclamation, announcement by our consciousness what we want. That we are declaring and proclaiming our choice. So through the moral commitment, when we build the bottom line of our character, means our behavior, our interaction with the universe, environment, society, other people, it is something like we walk out of us to meet the environment, meet the people, the society, and we declare what we want. Now, do we really want falsehood in place of truth? Do we really want violence in place of non-violence? Do we really want not to allow anybody the right of happiness and existence? We want for ourselves? Or do we want to just eat everything of the earth and don't allow anybody else to eat it? Or don't allow anybody else to breathe and eat and be happy? And do we want to create the conditions for the evil, the chain of evil around us, within us, in our mind, in our atmosphere, in our environment? So we have to make a choice here. So we build the bottom. So this bottom line is known as Yama Sadhana. In the Yoga Sutra 31, the great Maharishi Patanjali, the great guru who gave humanity the science of yoga, and in Sutra 31, he says, Jati, Des, Kal, Samay Vichinna. Jati, Des, Kal, Samay Vichinna. Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. It shouldn't make any difference whether a cow, a buffalo, animal, any kind of animal, or a plant, any kind of a plant, a human being, any color or any caste, any nationality. Jati, the species, the animal, or a plant, So we don't make any difference. No conditions of the jati. What kind of a species, that's whether a plant or an animal or a cow or a buffalo or a human being. So no conditions for jati. Jati, desha. When we say desh, means the locality, the territory, the nation, the region, the kshetra. So we make no conditions for whether somebody belongs to this continent or that continent or Asia or America or whatever on earth. All are same. Jati, desh, kal. Kal is the time. Whether it's in the morning time or in the evening time or in the noon time, whatever time it is of 24 hours circadian cycle, the cycle of Earth's rotation around the axis, or the different seasons, no difference, no conditions. Jati, desha, kal, samay vichinna. Samay could be whether it is a Ramayana's time or the celebration of the New Year, or it's a celebration end of the New Year, or the year, or a Christmas time or no Christmas time, or you just perform the charity at the Ramajan time. No dear, all time is the same. So jati, desha, kala, samaya, vichinna, no difference, no conditions. Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. These are universal constants, sarvabhauma, universal constants. You have to practice them as it is. Mahavratam, the greatest resolution. Maha means great. Vratam means your fasting, your resolution, your steadfastness on the dharma. That's your vratam. Mahavratam. Sarvabhauma Mahavratam. Jati, desha, kala, samaya, vichinna, sarvabhauma Mahavratam. 31 Sutra. So it says about Yama Sadhana that the truth has to be followed as truth. No dilution whatsoever, whatever conditions, whatever time, whatever nationality, whatever the caste, whatever the color, no change in your attitude towards truth. And then we take the help of the science. Thank God. Thank God. And I respect all the scientists, all the people who are working in the laboratories to investigate the truth of matter. I personally say that because without their help, I won't be able to decide what is truth and what is not. Because through experimentation and investigation of scientific attitude, we can take the help of science to be steadfast on the dharma of truth. Satyata nasti pro dharma. There is no religion greater than the truth. And the truth is God. So truth. The second is non-violence. We are made in the image of non-violent organism. That's why we have no horns, no thorns, no tools of offense and defense. We are an apostle of non-violence. So let's be that. Why we want to be something else, but we are not? What kind of heroism we want to show around here in an exhibition? We are going to show to everybody, I am the great hero. I killed 10,000 people. We don't need to become the Pol Pot of Cambodia. We don't need to. That's the truth. We are the apostle of non-violence, so ahimsa. So the truth, non-violence, and a stay. Because we have the great gift, evolutionary great gift of mirror neurons. Mirror neurons is the mirror inside us, in our mind. So we could see, we could feel the pain of somebody else in our own heart. So that's mirror neurons. That's a great gift. We have the mirror inside us, in our own mind, in our own heart. So how could I say that I deny the rights of somebody else, that he can't be happy and I have to be happy? Don't you think that I'm a sadist? That I derive my happiness from somebody's problem, somebody's pain? Can you see the face of all those rich people who just are so callous about the suffering of the humanity, and they are hoarding the money, which is not their money, belongs to the whole society, it's a common resource. Do you see the face of them in your mirror? And do we see our face in the mirror? When we burn the money in firecrackers, where the people are dying of hunger, without clothes, naked on the street, and we burn millions and billions of firecrackers on the Diwali night. My dear friends, do we see our own face in there? That's a stay to recognize the rights of other people's happiness and existence, peaceful existence. We have to allow those conditions for the peaceful existence and happiness of every sentient being. That's the Bodhisattva heart and the Vaishnava power. And the great civilization of India is based on Vaishnava power, the universal empathy, the attitude of universal empathy. So that's as they, an apparigre, we don't eat grass. We collect grains. We are grain-eating organisms. So we collect the grain, and the grain comes through the seasons. So we have to learn how to save it also, and how to store it for the next season. So we have to be very careful. So we have to be very careful with what we eat and how much we eat, and we must leave behind for others. So develop the fuel efficiency, the apparigre. Take minimum from outside and try to give maximum in order to create the abundance on earth, and not to create the scarcity with your tricks of your share market tricks, your tricks of the market to create the artificial scarcity and then harvest everybody's money. Do you think we are behaving like human beings? No, my dear friends. That's economic violence. And economic violence is the same, and even sometimes more terrible, because you take away the chance, you take away somebody's money, and you deny that person the right to happiness and peaceful existence. So my dear friend, fuel efficiency, try to take minimum and try to give maximum good outside. That's apparigre. And the brahmacharya is that we replace the greatest human impulse, which is known as sex impulse. So we replace the sex impulse with the impulse of divine attributes of Brahma, the God, in our mind. So we say, what is the dominant thought on your head? Is it the sex impulse, or it is the love for everybody, the divine attributes, the universal empathy? So my dear friends, the company of the divine attributes in our mind, that's the dominant behavior, and that's what is known as brahmacharya. So to be steadfast on these 4 and 5, fifth brahmacharya, these 5 yamas will give us the bottom line of our character, and we will be able to be the true yogis and the true human beings and true loving Vaishnava people and the true people who could love everybody on earth and we will create the peaceful environment, the peace, universal peace on earth, which will create the conditions for peace, progress, and prosperity. My dear friends, thank you very much, and have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning.